The primary investment thesis for Endomines Finland (OYJ) is anchored in the transformation of the company from a geographically dispersed explorer into a focused, profitable producer within a premier global mining jurisdiction. Historically, the company's valuation was encumbered by its multi-jurisdictional presence, which included complex and capital-intensive assets in the United States alongside its foundational Finnish holdings. However, the strategic pivot initiated in 2022 and accelerated throughout 2025 has effectively rationalized the asset portfolio, directing the entirety of management's focus and capital toward the Karelian Gold Line. This 40-kilometer-long greenstone belt in eastern Finland is increasingly being recognized by industry peers and analysts as a world-class geological feature, with structural similarities to the prolific gold-bearing regions of Western Australia and Canada. By consolidating its operations and taking critical mining activities in-house, Endomines has not only de-risked its operational profile, but has also positioned itself to capture the full upside of a historically strong gold market.
The strategic pivot and asset rationalization. The cornerstone of the current corporate strategy is the second chapter, a phase of growth that builds upon the successful operational turnaround achieved between 2022 and 2024. This turnaround was necessitated by a period of operational stagnation and financial distress that preceded the 2022 strategic review. The core objective of the new strategy is to scale annual gold production from the current levels of approximately 14,000 ounces to a target range of 70,000 to 100,000 ounces by approximately 2030. This ambitious growth is predicated on two primary pillars: the continued optimization and deepening of the Pampalo production complex and the rapid development of the Southern Gold Line prospects. A decisive component of this strategy was the divestment of the company's American assets. In late 2025, Endomines finalized the sale of 3 significant gold deposits in Idaho to Elk Range Minerals LLC for a total consideration of $20 million Australian dollars. This move was strategically significant for several reasons. First, it provided an immediate injection of liquidity, bolstering the cash position to approximately 18.5 million Australian dollars after transaction-related costs. Second, it removed the persistent drain on management resources and capital that the Idaho operations represented, allowing for a pure-play focus on the Finnish assets. Third, by retaining a 9.95% ownership stake in the parent company of the buyers, Endomines has preserved a level of optionality for its shareholders should the American assets achieve significant future success under new management. The divestment also eliminates approximately 0.5 million euros in annual operating expenditures and significantly reduces the company's exposure to foreign exchange volatility between the euro and the US dollar.
Geological endowment, the Karelian Gold Line. The investment case for Endomines is fundamentally tied to the geological potential of the Karelian Gold Line, or KGL. This 40-kilometer-long Archean greenstone belt in eastern Finland is structurally comparable to the Abitibi Belt in Canada and the Kalgoorlie region in Australia, both of which are legendary for their high-grade gold production and multi-million-ounce deposits. Despite these promising characteristics, the KGL has remained historically underexplored, largely due to its remote location and the fragmented ownership that preceded Endomines' consolidation of the district. Since the company intensified its exploration activities in 2023, the resource growth has been remarkable. The total gold resource along the KGL has increased by nearly 148% in just 2 years, reaching 492,800 ounces as of the end of 2024. The company's exploration efficiency is a key technical metric for investors. Management has demonstrated that every 10,000 meters of pure exploration drilling along the belt typically results in the definition of an additional 100,000 ounces of gold resource. This predictability in resource expansion allows for more accurate long-term planning and provides a high degree of confidence in the company's ability to meet its goal of defining 1.5 to 2 million ounces of gold mineralization by 2030. The geological model being employed by the Endomines team has also evolved. The recent discoveries at the Ukko deposit, for instance, have confirmed that gold mineralization in the area is often associated with iron formations, which can be effectively targeted using sophisticated electromagnetic surveys. This insight has significantly increased the success rate of the drilling programs and has allowed the company to identify high-grade targets that were previously overlooked.
Operations at Pampalo. The Pampalo mine and processing facility serve as the operational heart of the company. The mill has a proven annual capacity of 440,000 tons of ore, which provides a significant buffer for processing both the mine's own production and ore from satellite deposits like Hosco. Following the restart of operations in early 2022, production has seen a steady upward trajectory. In the 2024 fiscal year, Pampalo produced 14,304 ounces of gold, representing an 11.8% increase over the 12,790 ounces produced in 2023. A critical operational milestone achieved in late 2025 was the in-housing of underground mining operations. On September 1, 2025, Endomines officially completed the acquisition of the underground mining business of Power Mining Oy. While the transition phase caused a temporary shortfall in production during the third quarter of 2025, totaling 4,010 ounces compared to 4,191 ounces in the same period of 2024, the long-term benefits are substantial. The move is estimated to reduce gold production costs by approximately 90 to 120 euros per ounce starting in 2026. By owning the equipment and employing the miners directly, Endomines gains greater flexibility in its mining sequence and eliminates the profit margin previously paid to the subcontractor, which is essential for maintaining profitability as the mine deepens. The production guidance for the full year 2025 has been set between 16,000 and 22,000 ounces. Analysts from firms such as Evli have adjusted their estimates to the lower end of this range, approximately 17,849 ounces, to account for the integration friction encountered in the third quarter. However, the underlying trend remains one of growth, with the Pampalo underground mine seeing its ore reserves increase by 44.7% in terms of ounces during 2024. The mine currently boasts total reserves of 46,600 ounces at an average grade of 2.46 grams per ton, with the deposit remaining open at depth below the current level of 800 meters.
The Southern Gold Line, the growth engine. The most compelling catalyst for a significant re-rating of Endomines is the development of the Southern Gold Line, or SGL. Located roughly 20 kilometers south of the Pampalo plant, the SGL contains several high-priority targets, including Kutila, Korvalonswo, and the recently high-profile Ukko discovery. The development of the SGL is intended to provide the additional tonnage required to scale production toward the target of 70,000 ounces per year. The Ukko deposit has emerged as a potentially transformative asset for the company. In late 2025, drilling results from the northern part of Ukkolanvaara confirmed a gold-bearing zone approximately 1 kilometer long that remains open to the north, south, and at depth. Significant intersections at Ukko include 30.95 meters at 3.28 grams per ton, including a high-grade section of 9.35 meters at 7.08 grams per ton. These results support the theory that the northern section of Ukko could be the most significant gold discovery to date along the entire Karelian Gold Line. The development timeline for the SGL is well defined. Nature surveys and initial environmental studies were conducted throughout 2024, and the company expects to complete its environmental impact assessment program in early 2025. The formal permit application process is scheduled for the period between the second half of 2026 and the first quarter of 2027. Following this, a pre-feasibility study, or PFS, will be conducted in 2027 and 2028, with construction and commissioning planned for 2029 and 2030. While the timeline is ambitious, the company's ability to successfully reopen and ramp up the Pampalo mine provides a strong operational precedent for its ability to execute on these targets.
Northern Gold Line and the Kartitsa discovery. While the SGL is the immediate focus for expansion, the Northern Gold Line, or NGL, provides a significant secondary source of growth. The Kartitsa discovery, located about 16.5 kilometers north of the Pampalo mine, has yielded some of the highest gold grades ever recorded in the region. In December 2025, Endomines reported an intersection of 51.5 grams per ton over 0.8 meters within a broader zone of 7.3 meters at 7.1 grams per ton.
The drilling at Kartitsa has identified a gold mineralized structure at least 1,500 meters long. The company is currently conducting an 8,000-meter infill drilling program with the specific goal of publishing a first mineral resource estimate for the deposit in the first quarter of 2026. The proximity of these high-grade results to the surface suggests that Kartitsa could be suitable for open-pit mining, which typically carries lower capital and operating costs compared to underground mining. The long-term plan envisions Kartitsa entering production after the Southern Gold Line, likely in the 2032-2033 timeframe. Strategic diversification into critical minerals. A unique and often underappreciated aspect of the Endomines investment thesis is its potential as a critical minerals producer. The Southern Gold Line, particularly the Kartitsa prospect, contains significant deposits of tungsten and molybdenum. Tungsten is classified as a critical raw material by the European Union, which is seeking to reduce its dependence on imports of strategic minerals. Preliminary assessments suggest that Kartitsa could eventually supply between 0.5 and 2.5% of the total global tungsten demand.
The company plans to initiate tungsten and molybdenum production around 2030, integrated with its gold mining operations in the SGL. This diversification provides several strategic advantages. First, it aligns Endomines with European industrial policy, potentially qualifying the company for specialized funding or expedited permitting under the EU Critical Raw Materials Act. Second, the production of co-products like tungsten can significantly lower the net all-in sustaining cost, AISC, for the gold produced in the area. Third, it offers a degree of revenue diversification that can hedge against potential volatility in the gold price. Financial strength and capital management. The financial health of Endomines has seen a dramatic improvement in tandem with its operational turnaround. For the first half of 2025, the company reported revenue of €21.5 million, a 64% increase over the €13.1 million reported in the same period of 2024. This growth was driven by a 25.8% increase in gold production and the exceptional performance of the gold price. The group's EBITDA for H1 2025 reached €7.7 million, a nearly fourfold increase over the €1.9 million achieved in H1 2024. Profitability has stabilized at both the operating and net levels. The group achieved an operating result, EBIT, of €5.4 million in H1 2025 and a net result of €2.3 million. Operational cash flow before investments was €5.1 million for the 6-month period, demonstrating the company's ability to self-fund a portion of its growth. To support its aggressive 5-year exploration plan, which involves drilling 120,000 meters, Endomines secured a €12 million financing package in early 2025 from a group of Finnish insurance companies and a local bank. This package includes an €8 million secured loan, a €3 million account limit, and €1 million in bank guarantees.
The balance sheet is further protected by a strong equity position. As of late 2025, the equity ratio was approximately 74.8%, providing the company with significant financial resilience. The company has also been active in managing its debt through convertible bond arrangements with its largest owners, ensuring that the cost of capital remains manageable, while maintaining alignment between the company and its key shareholders. Macroeconomic context and gold price dynamics. The timing of Endomines' production ramp-up has coincided perfectly with a major structural bull market in gold. In early 2025, gold prices breached the $3,000 per ounce mark for the first time in history, and by October 2025, prices had exceeded $4,000 per ounce. This rally is being driven by fundamental shifts in the global financial system, including massive central bank gold buying, which has more than doubled historical averages, and a move by the BRICS nations toward de-dollarization. For an unhedged producer like Endomines, these price levels provide immense operating leverage. In the first half of 2025, the company's cash costs at Pampalo, excluding investments, were €1,325 per ounce. With gold prices averaging well over $3,000 per ounce during the same period, the margins are exceptionally wide. Analysts from firms like Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan expect central bank demand and structural government debt concerns to continue supporting gold through 2026 and 2027, with some forecasting a mid-year 2026 price as high as $5,271 per ounce under bullish scenarios.
The current gold market also exhibits a unique divergence where mining companies remain highly profitable despite rising interest rates, a trend that typically cools gold sentiment. Geopolitical tensions in Eastern Europe and the Middle East, combined with persistent global debt concerns, have made gold the preferred safe haven asset for both institutional and private investors. Endomines is ideally positioned as a pure play on gold in a secure jurisdiction, making it an attractive vehicle for investors looking to capitalize on these macro trends. Equity valuation and analyst sentiment. Equity analysts have responded positively to Endomines' strategic progress and the favorable gold price environment. Throughout 2025, target prices have been consistently revised upward. In October 2025, Evli upgraded its recommendation from reduce to accumulate and raised its target price to €31.5, up from a previous €27. Similarly, Inderes updated its target price to €29.5 in December 2025, maintaining an accumulate recommendation. Valuation models primarily rely on a sum of the parts or SOTP approach, which accounts for the current production at Pampalo, the advanced stage exploration projects in the SGL, and the blue sky potential of the NGL. At a current market capitalization of approximately €330 million, the stock is seen as undervalued relative to its growth prospects. Analysts expect earnings per share, or EPS, to grow at a compound annual growth rate, or CAGR, of over 300% between 2024 and 2027, as the company realizes the benefits of higher production volumes and lower in-house mining costs.
Recent manager transactions also provide a window into the company's internal dynamics. In December 2025, CEO Kari Vaiktinen executed several disposals of shares at prices ranging from €25.9 to €27.6. While insider selling can sometimes be viewed with caution, these transactions took place in the context of a robust share price rally and a clearly stated long-term strategy, and Vaiktinen remains a significant shareholder with a strong alignment with the company's success. Peer comparison and the Finnish mining advantage. Finland is consistently ranked as one of the world's most attractive jurisdictions for mining investment by the Fraser Institute, often holding the #1 spot. This ranking is based on a combination of high-quality geological data from the Geological Survey of Finland, GTK, excellent infrastructure, a stable political environment, and a clear, albeit rigorous, regulatory framework. Compared to its peers in the region, such as Dragon Mining or Rupert Resources, Endomines offers a specific profile of a producer transitioning to a larger scale. While Rupert Resources has identified a massive multi-million-ounce deposit at Ikkari in northern Finland, it is still several years away from production. Endomines, by contrast, is already generating significant cash flow from Pampalo, which it is using to fund its exploration without the need for the dilutive equity raises that often characterize junior explorers.
When compared to Agnico Eagle's Kittilä mine, the largest gold mine in Europe, Endomines is much smaller but offers a similar safe haven profile. Agnico Eagle's AISC at Kittilä was reported at approximately $1,031 per ounce in 2024. While Endomines' current cash costs are higher, the projected reduction from in-housing mining and the potential high-grade nature of the Ukko discovery suggests that the company's margins could begin to rival those of its much larger neighbor as it scales. Risk profile and mitigation strategies. While the investment case for Endomines is strong, it is not without risks. The most critical risk factor is the timeline and outcome of the permitting process for the Southern Gold Line. Any significant delays or more stringent environmental requirements could push back the production ramp-up and increase capital requirements. The company mitigates this by maintaining a proactive and transparent relationship with regulators and the local community, and by employing the latest sustainable mining technologies to minimize its environmental footprint. Commodity price risk is also a factor, particularly as Endomines is currently unhedged. A significant drop in the gold price would compress margins and could impact the feasibility of future development projects. However, the current structural supports for gold, central bank buying, and geopolitical uncertainty suggest that a sustained price collapse is unlikely in the near to medium term.
Operational risk is another consideration, specifically related to the integration of the in-house mining team and the technical challenges of deepening the Pampalo mine. The company addresses this by leveraging its deep historical knowledge of the Pampalo deposit and by employing an experienced management team with a proven track record in the Finnish mining industry. Finally, the Mining Act reform in Finland seeks to clarify exploration rules and landowner compensation, which could create a more stable but also more complex regulatory environment for all operators in the country. Summary: Endomines Finland OYJ represents a high-conviction investment opportunity for those seeking exposure to the gold sector within a stable, low-risk jurisdiction. The company's successful turnaround, the consolidation of its assets on the Karelian Gold Line, and the divestment of its non-core U.S. operations have created a focused and efficient corporate structure. The combination of current profitable production at Pampalo and the high-grade discovery at Ukko provides a unique blend of immediate cash flow and substantial exploration upside. The transition to in-house mining is a critical operational lever that will enhance margins just as the gold market enters what many analysts believe is a new, higher-priced regime. The company's strategic goal of becoming a mid-tier producer with 70,000 to 100,000 ounces of annual production is well supported by its defined development pipeline and robust resource growth. With a high equity ratio, a stable financing structure, and a clear lead in sustainable mining practices, Endomines is well positioned to navigate the challenges of scaling while delivering significant value to its shareholders. For investors, the company offers a compelling narrative of growth, operational discipline, and macroeconomic sensitivity, backed by one of the most promising underexplored gold belts in the developed world.